Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now today I'm going to be revisiting Feuerschwanz. Now I checked them out about 2 months ago when I looked at a cover they did of Warriors of the World by Manowar. Now I did say at the time, you know, they were a bit of a... I think when I looked them up, I think I said they were a parody band, but apparently they do a lot of their own more serious music as well. And I was suggested, you know, many tracks to check out of their own music, and one that came up quite a lot was a track called Untot im Drachenboot even, which as I understand means undead in the Drachenboot. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. I have lyrics here that are translated. I don't know how accurate they're going to be, because you know, as we all know, translations can vary quite severely depending on how good the person translating it is. So, yeah, I did find them quite interesting. I thought they were a very good band when I last listened to them. What I forgot to mention last time, and I had pointed out to me by several people, was when I looked at Warriors of the World, they actually had several guest vocalists in that song. So the sound here, the performance here, might be quite different from what I first saw. So I'm interested to see how it changes or varies. But I did enjoy them. I thought they did a very, very good job of the cover that they did. You know, I can be very hit and miss when it comes to covers, because some cover versions are just diabolically awful and completely disregard the whatever made the original version good, and they just completely rubbish it. It's like remaking films. You know, you have to do it well. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. So anyway, yeah, we're going to look at this song, Untot im Drachenboot, and I'm interested to see where we go. So we'll jump straight into it and see what we have. So, Untot im Drachenboot by Feuerschwanz. Let's have a look. Well, there we go. Untot im Drachenboot by Feuerschwanz. And what a fun piece of music that was. Very, very light and sort of jolly. I mean, despite the actual lyrics to the song, it's quite a jolly, upbeat song. Very reminiscent of sort of other sort of Viking metals, things like, Korpiklani and, those sort of silly metal bands. But a great performance. I love the fact that they've got all these other instruments in it, like he had like a small flute or a piccolo or whatever it might have been. There was, of course, the violin in there. There was another sort of stringed guitar-like instrument. I can't for the life of me remember what the thing's called. It's good that they've got those sorts of things in there, because it's always fun to mix them up. Excuse me. Anyway, now obviously with the title being called Undead in the Drachenboot, we can guess what the song is about. Obviously they're talking about a large Viking ship, which is apparently inhabited by the main character from Skyrim by the looks of things. Or not the main character, but, he seemed to be wearing the Skyrim armour. But anyway, so, they're talking about giant Viking ship being overrun with undead. That's what it seems to be saying. Now, like I said, I've got translation of the lyrics here. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but to all intents and purposes, it reads quite well. So, I can imagine it's fairly close. So it opens with dragons made of wood and sails, warriors wild and daring. Valhalla is waiting for every man. Only those who die on the battlefield hold the axe firmly in their hands, but what if you can't die? So immediately they've opened with dragons made of wood and sails. So they're obviously talking about the boats where they had those dragon figureheads at the front. So it's a good way of describing it. Warriors wild and daring, Valhalla is waiting for every man. Excuse me. But it also says, hold the axe only those who die on the battlefield hold the axe firmly in their hands, but what if you can't die? So what happens to you? You can't go to Valhalla, you can't go to this eternal, land of plenty, or whatever the best way to describe it is. You can't go there if you can't die. And it breaks into that really sort of upbeat chorus. It says, off to death with the dragon boat, onto the steely sea, and we sail across the sea, join our army onto the spray with the dragon ship, onto the bloody sea, and the sea turns red, our sails bring death, undead in the dragon boat, undead in the dragon boat, undead. So, off to death with the dragon boat. So these are the people fighting against the undead, it would seem. And going out onto the steely sea, crossing the oceans, this... well, it would have been a lot more dangerous then than it is now, because obviously ships nowadays are a lot more safe. A lot more safe? Is that right? Are a lot safer than they used to be. And, onto the bloody sea, and the sea turns red, so, they're filling the water with blood with their conquests and every battle that they fight. Our sails bring death. And then it says undead in the dragon boat. So are they the undead, or are they fighting against the undead? Because to start off with, they say off to death. So like they're heading off expecting to die in battle. But then they're saying undead in the dragon boat. So are they the undead, or is their ship about to be overrun with the undead? Anyway. In Dark Harbour... Let's try that again. In Dark Harbour dives, you can hear the sailors rumoured. Draugr out there for 1,000 years. Our ship fast and agile, neither dead nor alive. Cursed to eternal privateering. Off. I think that might be a mistranslation there. But it says, in Dark Harbour dives, you can hear the sailors rumoured. So, like, in the taverns of port towns and stuff like that, there's whispers going around of this undead crew. Probably pretty much like in Pirates of the Caribbean, in Tortuga, they talk about the Black Pearl, the ship of the undead sort of thing. So it's probably a very similar sort of situation to that, really. And it says there, our ship is fast and agile, neither dead nor alive. So again, this brings up the question, is it the people in the boat that are the undead, or are they about to be overrun with the undead and turned into the undead themselves? Curious. Because then it goes back into the chorus. Off to death with the dragon boat, onto the steely sea. We'll sail across the sea, join our army, up into the spray with the dragon ship, up into the bloody sea, and the sea turns red. Our sails bring death, undead in the dragon boat. So again, it opens up with that line, off to death with the dragon boat. So again, it's suggesting that they're going off expecting to die, but then at the end of the chorus, they say undead in the dragon boat. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a mistranslation in the lyrics, like I said. So that might be what that is. Then it goes into a second version of the chorus, slightly altered. It says, up into death with the dragon boat, up into the steely sea, and we sail across the sea. Join us army, again probably translation problem, up into the spray with the dragon ship, into the bloody sea, and the sea turns red. Our sails bring death. And we sail across the sea, up into the spray with the dragon ship, up into the bloody sea, and the sea turns red. Our sails bring death, undead in the dragon boat. So it's not like a particularly deep and meaningful song, but it is kind of telling a story. Like this is a ship of rumour where people talk about it in hushed circles. This ship of undead pirates or privateers that are coming for them. These Vikings or warriors that can never die. And everybody is in abject fear of them because, they're going to come, they're going to destroy the city, and no matter what you do, you can never win because these people cannot die. So, yeah, it's a great piece of music and, performed really, really well. It's sort of, like I say, fits into that whole sort of Viking metal, pirate metal sort of era. And, the vocal style was brilliant. You can tell the guy has range because he does those sort of power metal sort of screams and sort of vocals towards the end of the track as well as opening with one, but he's also got that sort of gruff harsh main vocal as well. So very well performed. Like I said, the music was great. Like I said, I really enjoy it when they incorporate these less than usual instruments into the music. It sounded really, really good. I very much enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when I checked the Warriors of the World video. They had a bit of fun with that. You could tell they didn't take themselves too seriously. In this video, you could tell they were having a little bit of fun, but this was a little bit more serious on the video side, even though there was zombies and that jumping on your band members. So, yeah, an enjoyable piece of music. I quite like that. And it's good to know that, they can have fun doing what they're doing. That they can be a bit silly, but they can also be quite serious as well. And, many people said, they started off as a bit of a silly comedy band, but they moved more towards more serious music, but they've still managed to keep a little bit of levity there as well. So, yeah, I quite liked it. And, like I said, many people suggested this to me, to check out something different. And obviously, like I said in the previous video, they had several guest vocalists, had their own unique style into the music. And, this guy, a very good singer, very good vocalist. It makes I won't say it makes no difference, but, it doesn't negatively affect the music to not have those guest vocalists there. So, a good band, good piece of music. I like it. But I don't know what else I can say on that, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because it does help me out a lot. But, yeah, I'm going to leave that as is. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.